I want to say thank you to you all for coming out here today. None of us here are unaware of white privilege and what it affords people. White people have the right to play with toys, to go on jogs, to sit in parked cars, to have broken taillights, all without fearing for their lives. The same cannot be said for black people. And while white privilege cannot be helped, it can be utilized. White privilege can be used to get the police to unjustly arrest and kill black people without any evidence, but can also be used for good, to protect people. On June 1st, the president had a photo op near Lafayette Park. At the time, it was full of mostly black demonstrators demanding justice for the murder of George Floyd. The over-militarized police attempted to physically remove people, then tear gas them in order to clear the crowds. Despite how common the videos of police brutality against peaceful protesters are, this one stood out to me. In the video, a young black man was kneeling in front of the police, refusing to leave. The officers were prepared to use physical force to remove him, reaching for a weapon at their belts. Before they could, a young white woman put herself between them, instantly changing the behavior of the police. They lost their aggressive body language and were clearly trying to verbally convince her to leave. They seemed to transform from angry gun-toting law enforcement to stern parents coaxing a child. I was equal parts enraged and confused. Enraged by the racial biases of the police that were unapologetically on display. Confused because if the police were so undeniably changing their treatment of protesters based on the color of their skin, why hadn't I seen white privilege used like this before? Think about it. Imagine that same scenario, but the square was full of women like the one who put herself in front of the cops. Can you imagine police trying to assault or tear gas them? No, because of their privilege. I want to see white people who can storm into a government office with semi-automatic assault rifles and demand their right to a haircut fight for black lives. However, they are not the only ones with privilege. However, they are not the only ones with privilege. I want to speak specifically to my community, the South Asians and immigrants. We have all benefited from the work done by the black community. They have paved the way for our rights in this country. Yet despite all that they have done for us, we reject them. The South Asian community is often racist and discriminatory towards black people. We consider darker skin unattractive, and our youth see no problem in throwing around racial slurs. But I'm tired of that. We have a unique position in American society. Our voices are unfairly valued over black voices because we are stereotyped to be smarter or more educated than our non-white counterparts. I want us to stand up and use our privilege. To the East Asians, you owe just as much to the black community. East Asian pop artists appropriate black culture through hair, jewelry, and music. East Asian comedy often includes blackface, and like in South Asian communities, being dark is generally considered unattractive. We need to shut down these racist behaviors. We need to stand with black people. Instead of reposting on social media, I want us all to get up, attend future rallies, speak out, have difficult conversations. We need to use our privilege and fight for black lives. As MLK once said, the ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people. Thank you.